Cool, so today's video we're going to be talking about different resorts. So the holiday, winter, ski, snowboard season is fast approaching, and now is the sort of time you want to be looking at buying your holidays. Whether you're buying a package holiday, whether you're booking it yourself, there is different places you can go, and I thought it'd be a cool idea if I told you about the resorts that I went to. So we're going to be rating the resorts on different things. So what we're going to rate the resorts on is the runs, the nightlife, the value for money, would I go again, and then rate it out of 10. So, right, and last up we have Big White in Canada. Now part of me feels it's a little bit unfair to compare Canadian resorts to European resorts because the snow is so different. But we're going to do it, it's fine. So in terms of runs, so Big White has, well, they have a different rating system as well. So in Europe, you have your greens, your blues, your reds, your blacks. In Canada / North America, I guess, I believe it goes green, blue, black diamond, and then double black diamond. So there is a good variety of greens and blues, which to me really covers greens to reds. I'll be honest. There were some blues I'm like, this is way too steep to be a blue. So just be aware of that if you are a beginner and stuff. Just different ratings, it's just the way it is. But yeah, so in terms of, like, we'll call it like greens to reds, that sort of area, you've got a nice variety of runs. It's awesome. It's good. As good as the previous resorts I mentioned. In terms of proper steep stuff, like black runs, there isn't as many as some of the other resorts. There is like stuff, you've got like a powder bowl, which is really steep. It was too steep for me at the time when I did it. And there are some other runs about, I think Blackjack, and I can't remember the other names of runs, which is really sad because I'm going back there. Thunder Bluff, no, that's World of Warcraft, Thunder something. But yeah, and Four Face, I think is another one. But yeah, so there is some black runs there. There's not a massive amount compared to the other resorts, and they're not like massively long. I think it's because Big White just isn't, it's not the Alps, right? So you go to the Alps, you've got the grandeur of the Alps, and you get to the top of these places and you're just dropping in. Whereas I think Big White is not as high up. But the snow is probably the best snow I've been on. I believe it's like champagne powder is what they call it. And we had lots of powder days. And in terms of tree runs and stuff, there's lots of tree runs and glades, and like they've got bike paths in the summer that you can do in the winter. So that sort of cool, that sort of stuff is cool. In terms of nightlife, Big White itself, there's like 5 or 6 restaurants. It is quite secluded on its own. And everywhere sort of shuts at 10, apart from one bar called Sam's, which is open till like 2 or 3 in the morning. So everyone sort of ends up in one place, which is cool. And they've got different stuff. They had like band nights, and they got pool tables, and they got music and karaoke and different stuff for different nights. It's not going to be your major party town, clubbing, that sort of thing. But it's decent. It's decent. There's like variety wise, you're going to be in Sam's. But in terms of, yeah, if you're looking for a decent night out and you're happy going to the same place, then yeah, you're going to have a good time. In terms of value for me is quite hard to judge on this one because I was on like a predetermined course. So I'd paid all inclusive for exams and accommodation and stuff. I think definitely do your own research on this, but I guess depending on the time of the year you go, it can get quite expensive. And also you have to bear in mind that if you're coming from the UK, your flight's going to be more expensive, and then you've got the exchange rate and whatever. So value, I'm sort of going to veto because I didn't really purchase a trip, we'll say. So definitely like check it out for yourself. If you're coming from North America, maybe it's going to be cool for you. If you're coming from Europe, then it's going to be more expensive. Would I go again? Well, I have a job there this season, so I guess that's a yes from me. What would I rate Big White out of 10? Ooh, 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 do you know what? Do you know what? I'm going to give it an 8.5. I'm going to give it an 8.5, and my reasons are going to be, if you are a beginner, fantastic place to be. You've got, I think there's 3 sort of training slopes, we'll call it. And then from there, you can progress onto a green run that goes from the main town straight down to the bottom of the lift. So you can keep lapping that, and there's like 3 of them, which is cool. And then from there, you can progress, So there's a nice progression from beginner to beginner, intermediate to intermediate to advanced, right? So I think that's really cool. So depending on where you are in your progression, you've got something to do or something to lap. I like the way you've got variety. So you've got like your pisted runs, then you've got like your tree stuff and glades and different pieces of that. So that is cool. I think the only things that are stopping it from getting a higher score from me is just it's a bit small. Not like the actual town itself is just a bit secluded. I think it probably will grow over time and there'll just be more stuff there. In terms of runs and stuff, you've got more than enough. If you go for a week, you've got more than enough to deal with. Probably enough for 2 weeks. I mean, yeah, 2 weeks I'd say. Because you can get right over to the far left, far right hand side. So yeah, 8.5 out of 10. So